Let's see if y'all come. Listen, y'all knew I was going live. Y'all knew it. Let me take my wave cap off. Don't be messing with me about the color of my wave cap either. It's burgundy. All right. Take my wave cap off. Y'all knew I was going live at some point or another. Y'all knew I was gonna go live. This definitely needs to be talked about. Some good stuff to unpack. Um, hold on, I'm just trying to pull this. If I can. Shalom. Y'all knew I listen. Y'all knew I was coming. Um, I bet when Kadazar said Shalom Cat, aka King of the Bucket Hat, that's correct. Let me put my bucket hat back on. Um, when Kadazar said your father's a child molester, don't it hit different now? Don't they hit? Don't it hit different? Why Polight was so adamant to fight Kadazar when he brought up your spiritual father's a child molester, because the demon in him wasn't upset about York. It was upset about, I mean, wait, hold on, Slack. Ain't nothing wrong with purple, not desire. I got a purple garment. I just ain't wore it yet, but ain't nothing wrong with purple. But anyway, but when Kadazar said what he said, he was speaking to that demon that existed in Polite. Make no mistake about it. Polite getting convicted of this is not the first time thing. Definitely not the first time thing. I want to big up my brother Garfield, and the sidebar. I'm gonna make sure that Garfield and Sinetta stop this bullshit as beef. They beefing over the disagreement with Polite from back in July, which, and I told both of them. I said we're not gonna let what happened with Polite destroy whatever friendship y'all had. They didn't have no issue prior to that. They was fine before this Polite shit. So we're not gonna let that. We're not gonna play that game like that. So I want to highlight that. But what I want to talk about first, I was on Sinetta's channel earlier, and I want to applaud. I want to applaud the daughter's mother first, Linda. Linda did something that you don't usually see. Like, she fought to make sure that Polite got convicted. And just remember, she's fighting against a lot of odds with this. She's fighting against. I'm gonna turn it off. Odds of Polite being a so-called celebrity. I'm gonna see if I can get the audio. That's what I'm trying to do now. What I'm trying to do now is see if I can get this audio real fast. I want to get the minute marker when the sister was talking. Polite sworn in, charges read, pleads to. He tried to block viewers. So he tried to block the viewers from even hearing. Like, he wanted to block the viewers from hearing. Let me see if I can get that. Hold on. Let me see. So Garfield was fly enough to give me the minute markers. Let me see if this plays. Hold on. I ain't hearing that. Oh, for some reason when I put my shit on Do Not Disturb, it don't let the audio play. So let me turn the audio.
To reset this matter. This courtroom is always open.
Now,
Zoom is it?
The first thing was hour and 4. Okay, hour and 4 minute mark. So let me go to the hour and 4 minute mark.
Convenience of how to do it and just leave somebody.
You see what he's trying to do, y'all?
Listen, hold on.
Maybe right now live on YouTube.
Okay, well, if it's being streamed, it's being streamed.
Now, what y'all first? Now here's the goofy shit first, and here's the, like, when you talk about narcissism, like real narcissism, and I'm a big up Star. So I didn't plan on talking this long, but however long it goes, that's how long it goes, right? So Star from the Star Show, right? I'm cool with Star. I was on his platform the other day. Excuse me, not the other day. Back in July, and on that platform, we talk about Polite, and Star said Polite gonna claim me innocent because he's a narcissist like me. The day before, let me show y'all Polite's page. On Polite's Instagram page, This is his page. I want y'all to see if y'all can see that. Look, it say charges dropped. This is the day before. This is the day before. This is what Polight doing. The day before, he knows he's going to plead out. He knows he's going to plead guilty. This the day before. He's on his Instagram page. This is not a nigga that's remorseful. This is not a nigga that's sorry for what he did. Look at him. That's what it says on his page. Charges dropped. I won't show that. He's showing some girl's ass and shit like that. That's the day before. That's yesterday. Yesterday. He partying like now on in his real mental, he partying like that because he know he's going to do time. But he's such a liar and narcissistic bastard that he wants y'all to think the charges was dropped. That's what he wants y'all. He wants y'all to believe that he not pleading out up until the day before. There's no remorse for this nigga. Fuck Polight. Fuck Polight. Fuck anybody that fuck with him. Like, and it's easier. The one thing I'll agree with Sai. When Sai Netta was like, he wanted to wait till everything came out so we could see what he pleading to, what he not pleading to, so we could speak freely. And I agree with him. Now, I didn't agree with him on not saying anything at all, but I agree with him in wanting to be correct in what we say, meaning wanting to know exactly what the charges is. So now we know what the charges is. For those that don't know what the charges is, it's lucky if I'm kind of all over the place. You know, I always have a plan. Like, I'm going to speak for about 5 minutes, but then I speak a little longer. So now, here's what the charges are. What he pled guilty to. Hold on. Let me play that for you.
See, dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail.
Well, let me bring it back. Let me play it. Play. Hold on, maybe I gotta close it. Maybe it'll work better if I Salaki, I'm just trying to get the audio so y'all can hear.
It is my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to this new information. You would be adjudicated guilty, and your sentence has been memorialized in a 4-page plea agreement. Did you have the opportunity to go over this plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I do need the defendant to initial each page because there are not initials on these pages. Okay. Let me know when it's done.
Let's see if I can skip up a little bit. Hold on. It's quiet because he's signing the papers. It's quiet because he's signing the papers. That's why it's quiet right there. Let me see if I can skip up a little bit. Hold on, let me see. So,
there are
I'm gonna read the charges now.
additional terms
The
of
charges are,
restitution,
and
which
here's the heavy part.
$5,000 has been agreed to be
I'm sorry.
paid.
Here's the heavy part. There's 2 more additional charges coming. So what he pled guilty to was aggravated child abuse, rape, and bodily harm. Rape, child abuse, bodily harm. 1 count of contributing to a minor. Let me tell y'all something, man. There's no way this is the first time. This ain't the first time. And if you heard the mother, let me see if I can get that minute marker for you. If you heard the mother, the minute marker, let me see if Garfield sent me the minute marker for that too. No. Okay, I'm gonna see if I could get where the mother spoke. Where the mother spoke, that's why I applaud the mother in this moment, because the mother, like, the saddest part in all of this is the young girl. The young girl ain't built like somebody you say, well, she was, you know, could be confused or whatever. Not that that would make it any better. I'm Salaki for even saying that. And the reason why we think like that is because they might say, well, what how the woman was built, where that don't even matter. A daughter's a daughter because this was one of his wives at the time. One of his wives at the time, which lets you know even a woman that he's dealing with, her children ain't off limits. So he'll do it with a woman that he's dealing with. Imagine, because trust me, another person is going to come out. Another person going to come out. That's usually all it takes. All it takes is for one victory, and then you'll see somebody else come out. That woman is a superhero. But she said some heavy stuff in there. She said when her daughter leaves out the house, she still struggles until she comes back in the house. Imagine the trauma, because the mother has to deal with, this is a man I was in a relationship, I trusted, I built things with, and he did that. So now imagine how she's going to go through life trying to pick another mate. Imagine how the daughter's going to go through life when a mother picks that mate. Just imagine that shit. Her life is forever destroyed. Both of their lives, that dynamic will never be the same. It might be repaired, of course, because over time you can build that strength up. And I pray that they get that back. Like, I pray that the daughter gets her strength back, the mother gets her strength back. But there'll never be a moment, like it'll never be all the way gone, that this is good. Like, she'll never probably trust a man with her son, with her daughter. The daughter probably never would want to be alone. Like, that's, and then the man that gets in that relationship is going to have to understand that. Like, y'all don't realize that what trauma, and for black women, like, black women, every black woman, like, majority, 95, even the ones that I have been in a relationship with, that I have as wives, they all can tell you a story of where they was groped inappropriately, talked to, spoke to inappropriately, touched inappropriately, and you have to deal with that. And if you can't, like, that type of innocency taken away leads to the promiscuity that you see from women. When you see some of these women that's loud and stuff like that, just ask them if they was touched as a child or touched as a teenager. And then when you ask them if they was touched as a child or touched as a teenager, make sure you ask them, did anyone defend them over it? Did anyone stand up for them over it? Boys too. And when you find out that there wasn't, that's why you're going to see that they're acting that way. And that leads to the stripper pole, that leads to their whoredom, that leads to their homosexuality, that leads to their not caring about themselves, not caring about who they sleep with, who they let sleep with them, that leads to revenge. It's so much that goes into a child's innocency being taken away, especially if they don't get defended. Because once you're not getting defended, like, a child that's born is not born to be the defense of themselves. They're born to parents that's supposed to defend them. And when the parents don't defend them, who do they go to? Who do they go to for defense? And so now their psyche says, well, ain't nobody gonna defend me. I'm gonna just go out and do me. I'm gonna go out and live this way. I'm gonna go out and live that way. And I ain't gonna give a fuck about nothing. That's why I applaud that lady Linda. That lady Linda fought against odds, because she said, and I quote, when Polight tried to go, when she was going to the authorities, Polight grabs her and says, don't tell, you're going to ruin my career. He didn't say, don't tell, we can work it out. He didn't say, don't tell, I'm sorry. He didn't say, don't tell him. He said, you're going to ruin my career. His career was more important than that child's life. Fuck Polight. Fuck him. Fuck them wives. Fuck all of them. All of them. Because them wives is standing with him, knowing that he did that shit to that lady. They don't give a fuck about little girls either. At all. Where's their care? And he got a daughter. And he got a daughter. I don't understand. I got a daughter. Before I had a daughter, I hated that type of shit. But having a daughter is supposed to make your defense of girls, like, go even higher, like through the roof. Like, your shit's supposed to go through the roof. Because you don't want that to happen to your daughter. So it's supposed to check you for how you treat a daughter, how you treat a girl, and is supposed to put your antennas up, because girls, like boys, for boys you might say, and I know y'all like to do this whole equal shit, there ain't no such thing. So for boys you might say, I know for me, like I just bought my boy, so I got my boy Knock, right? And I got Nakazai and Zarak. And then I got my daughters, my oldest and my youngest. The girls, I like to protect them at all costs. I'm watching, trying to turn everything. The boys, to a certain extent, the boys, you kind of want them to go through a little bit of falls. Like you want them to get hit a little bit, because you know men are meant to be defenders. So if I protect him from every single thing, he's not going to learn how to defend. Whereas girls are to be protected, so you treat them a little bit more dainty. That's a good word, dainty. You treat them a little bit more dainty. You treat them a little bit more prissy. You know, you tiptoeing with them. You want to be defenders of them. You don't want to see them fall. You want to protect them. And so for him to have a daughter and do this shit, man, fuck him forever. They're like them 7 years, because part of the plea, for those that don't know, okay, so let me recap, because somebody said, did Polight go to prison? So for those that don't know, Polight pled out. Polight pled guilty to rape, child abuse. I have to read it again. Let me see. Let me get my Facebook page. So he pled out to, so I can get it right. So Polight pled out to 2 charges of aggravated assault. 2 charges of aggravated child abuse, rape, bodily harm, 1 count of contributing to a minor, and it looks like there's 2 other charges that's coming. That's what he pled guilty to. He got 7 years prison time. So he either got taken now, or he's going to be in jail for 7 years, 10 years probation if he violates it, and I think he can't be around children for like 17 years. The one thing that is not on there is he doesn't have to register as a sex offender when he gets out. And the mother explained why she allowed that to be in the plea. She allowed that to be in the plea because she preferred him to admit his guilt over that. And I agree with her, because I don't need him to register to not fuck with him no more. I hope y'all don't. I don't need him to register. We are, like, that nigga's noticeable. He's not an unknown cat. It's not like James from down the street comes out and don't nobody know him. He knows him. So when he come out, whether he registered or not, we gonna mark that nigga. He's marked for life. Marked for life. And that mental disease of child molestation, here's how heavy that mental disease. This nigga talk about he write 90 books. He's the top debater. Like, he's a skill. Like, talking about him is like talking about R. Kelly in this aspect. When it come to music, like, to be honest, like, when I tell y'all I don't listen to no R. Kelly music at all, I don't listen to no R. Kelly music. And it's not because it's bad music. If we just talk about the music is the bomb. It is. But the reason why I can't, I wouldn't put, let's not put Polight on GMS. GMS is better than Polight. We're not going to do that. But if, like, for me mentally, when I saw, like, the video back in, like, whenever it came out, when I saw, like, the video of what R. Kelly did to the girl, mentally I just blocked out R. Kelly music. But if I'm speaking outside of that, R. Kelly, you would, if he don't have these charges, you would say he was like the best R&B cat ever. You can argue that. You know, you would put him up there with like Luther, all that shit like that. But we condemn him because of what he committed. So now when it comes to Polight, this nigga done wrote all these books. The nigga's extremely articulate. Best debater, you'll argue. Don't nobody debate like Polight. You'll argue all of that. Smarts, intelligence doesn't take away your mental defect and sickness. Niggas like this is even more sick. And that lets you know money, power, popularity does not cure your mental disease. R. Kelly had a mental disease, and where did his stem from? His stem from, he was molested by women. That played a part to his innocence. He was taken away as well. Polight, I don't know if he was molested or not. We don't know that. I don't know of no history of that. But I do know that that nigga is sick. Absolutely sick. To tell Linda, to tell the daughter's mother that I want to go down here and talk to her, just have a conversation. That's how he did it. He told her, I just want to talk to her, have a conversation with her, help build up. And she trusted that all he wanted to do was talk. And he took her and raped, abused, and did everything to her. When I'm saying rape, I ain't saying he penetrated her. That's what the charge is, though. The charge is rape. But I believe he orally assaulted her. They have the sperm and all of that. And the reason why she didn't take it to trial is because she said it's already enough that little girl has had to endure. She don't want to put her through that. And I can respect that. I can respect that. So fuck Polight for eternity. Polight can never come out. Anybody can repent, but fucking with him is a no-no. We excommunicated Nazi. Didn't we excommunicate Nazi? We excommunicated Nazi when we found out that he did it. So it ain't that hard to excommunicate a nigga. It should not. Y'all was already letting him get away with all the, y'all was saying he robbed people for money and stuff like that. So if we could excommunicate Nazi, we could excommunicate this nigga Polight. And that nigga need to get excommunicated ASAP. So I wanted to do this live stream. I know everybody's been talking about it. Garfield, big up to Garfield. He reminded me. I forgot about it. Big up to Garfield. Big up to Sinetta. Everybody that's talking about it. And let's not just talk about it because it's just Polight. Let's talk about it because molesting girls or molesting children is something that we should not accept ever. We should not accept predators. If you are guilty of doing it, you should be excommunicated. We should never fuck with you. Well, I got to get rid of whoever this nigga is with this. I don't know. Hey, you're welcome, man. Listen, and one thing I like about myself, I'm not doing this because it's Polight. I've been doing this for years. So this ain't no clout or none of that shit. I've been speaking against this and rallying against this, doing lectures on this for years. So I'm gonna look in the chat to see if y'all got a couple of questions. If y'all don't have no questions, I'll go ahead and let it go. Let me come over here. Let me see. Let me go to my history. Let me look in the chat real fast. Hold on. Let me refresh. In the chat real fast. Hold on. Let me see what we got in the chat. I ain't doing no roll call. I ain't doing no promotion. I ain't doing no nothing. Much love and respect to you, Blood of Judah. I don't know who that is with that. Hey, I don't know what type of language that is. That must be like some Russian shit. That's a Russian spy is in the room. I don't know about the wives, but the wives is just as guilty, y'all. I'm sorry. There's no way the wives don't know that shit going on or anything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let's see. Let me check out the chat, see if we got anything. I think I said everything I want to say so far. So I appreciate y'all joining me on this live. Who the fuck is Kemerova? I don't know who that is. Biblical, right? Should the wives divorce him? That I can't answer. I can't answer the questions about the wives other than saying they like co-conspirators. That's the best I can tell you about them wives. Them wives gotta be co-conspirators. Gotta be. There's no way them wives ain't co-conspirators, not culpable, just as guilty, whatever you want to call it, that's what they are. I'm sorry, it's a lot. What's a good scripture for this is Luke 12:1. When it talks about beware the leaven of the Pharisees, there's nothing hid that does not come to light. Nothing. There's nothing that you do in the dark that don't come into light. And the Lord will judge you. And Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, not 8 and 11, 7 and something, hold on. When it says, wait, I'll give you a good scripture. It's one of my favorite scriptures. Oh, it was Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set to do evil. And a good one, even though it's about Esau, when it says, no, matter of fact, pride come before the fall. This nigga didn't think he was gonna fall. He thought he had the best lawyers. He thought he had the best everything. And then he found out he did not. So with that, man, I appreciate y'all joining me, man. Again, Polight, 7 years jail, 10 years probation, can't be around kids for like 17 years. He pled guilty to the crimes. Shalom.